Alrighty. Myki Angeline here in Club Retro for the audition put on by Creative Music Services. I'm here with the wonderful Mr. BLAP.
Hey, how you doing?
It was so wonderful. Thanks for being here. Now, you're one of the panelists, correct?
Yes.
For the audition, and you took on two of the artists today. How valuable would you say this workshop is for people in the music scene here in Sacramento?
It's valuable for music scene in Sacramento, the music scene in someone's living room, their garage, California, Nevada. It's valuable, period. Because every artist that's a musician has the thought in their mind that one day I can make it. But in order to make it, you still have to go through the audition process. And this is how you learn it in a manner that you get torn down just to be built back up. That's what this is built for. But usually in an audition setting, you're just getting torn down. They're not going to give you the build-up tools as well. That's why this is important. And there's enough expert information in here that any artist of any genre, of any form, could walk away from something in here and have that next tool to get them to the next level.
That's a beautiful sentiment. Now, let the public know, what is it you do that makes you such the, why you're here on the panel, what you do in the music scene?
I study music, every genre. I've been doing music since I was 4 years old. I've been singing. I'm a music producer. They generally categorize me in the hip-hop era because that's where I get a lot of my acclaim from, but I'm actually more of a jazz dude. And that's where my start actually came from, singing with my mother in jazz. And my mom used to sing background for Motown. So she pulled me into the jazz world. In my grandmother's house, all you could listen to was jazz and R&B, some soul, because it gets a little too edgy for grandma. So, and then rap came out, and it pulled me in different directions. But before we had rap, all we had was pop, rock, and everything else. So I'm a studier of music. I love music, and it allows me to appreciate it in different forms than the average individual that's in an urban format. They're able to look at music from just one-sided view. I don't have a triangle, I more of a hexagon. Any genre. I produce rock records, country, spoken word, did a couple of audio books, R&B, soul music, death metal, heavy metal, reggaeton, and a couple of reggae bands. I love music.
There isn't anything you don't do. Now, how long have you been doing this in the Sacramento scene?
Since I was 17 years old. I started at Rancho Cordova High School in Rancho Cordova, and I've been rocking since then. I left for a little while to go into the military, but while I was in the military, I was performing and doing shows and traveling even in the military. So since I've been back, it's just been full steam ahead. You know, this is the only thing that I have a passion at doing, and I know I can make money at it. And with the number of children that I have to make money. So I just go really, really hard. I don't take vacations and I don't take breaks. And I love what I do, and I do it the way that I love it, you know.
And would you say that as advice to someone who's just starting in the music scene, and music is what they love, but they don't quite know where to go with it? Would you say that you need to expect to sacrifice so much if you want your music to get somewhere?
Sacrifice is something that if you're not prepared to make a sacrifice, this is not the industry for you, because you have to sacrifice your talent. You have to give more of yourself than you're going to get back in the beginning. So the sacrifice is actually part of the struggle of getting to where you want to be at. If you're not ready to do that, if you're not ready to invest in yourself monetarily, time, everything, like there are a lot of artists out there that think that they can do it and they have the ability to do it in the studio, but won't work out in the gym to get their bodies physically ready to go out in the road. They don't eat right to be healthy enough to go out and do it. They don't practice their instrument enough to be able to handle that one time when they get that shine solo, they can't perform it. These are the things that make that, the personal investments is what I call them, are the most important tools to this industry right now. If you're willing to make a personal investment in yourself at whatever it is, then other people will want to make those same investments, and then I want to buy your CDs. I want to put my dollar behind you as a producer. I want to open my studio up to you and give you a break. You know, I want to take my promotion company and get behind you and promote you. These are the things that happen when you make those personal investments.
Good point. Now, in this day and age where the internet is such an invaluable tool for the individual artist, do you still think it matters more to try to get national label interest, or do you think an artist can be equally successful on their own staying indie?
I'm torn. I work with a lot of labels, and I know that the possibility of that is still out there. But it's slim now. It's very, very slim, and they've slimmed it down to the way it's supposed to be. Everybody's not supposed to be able to get in, because then the industry is going to fall that way, and then music will suck. And we've already gone through that phase where music sucked for a while, and now we're getting back to real music. You know, I honestly feel that if the way that things are going currently, if we're able to continue to have different people input different things on music and different genres of music and different efforts behind it, it'll create a musical environment and a musical community that'll be able to be around for so many more years as it was intended to be. And that's what my vision is and what my view is right now as far as music goes. There's a lot of artists, a lot of different styles, a lot of different things going on in music, but there has been a lull in creativity and expertise in musicianship, and now it's starting to come back. And it's one of the things that gives me the drive to keep going, and it's given a lot of other artists drive to keep going as well and pull back into the industry.
Wow, that's good to know. Now, one last thing. Where do you see the future of the music scene or the music industry happening for Sacramento in the next 2 years?
As long as it's conditional, as long as there are collaborations amongst genres, not just artists, but amongst genres, because we're seeing that that is kind of a popular trend, and I don't like to use that, but it's the truth. It's a popular trend, but it's a bridge in musical gaps. Rock and roll back in the day worked with reggae. The blues worked with jazz. The blues worked with rock and roll. Rock and roll came from the blues. People have to start utilizing these type of examples in order to make this environment here. And I think that that's one of the things that Sacramento as a whole music community has been lacking. You don't see the rap guys going out to the jazz sets not realizing that jazz is what built hip hop. You don't see the rock guys going out to visit the blues bands not realizing that there's no rock and roll without the blues. You know, there's no publication of the rock and roll without what Elvis Presley did. He took pieces of the blues. You know, he put it on Buddy Holly. They took pieces of the blues and built a genre of music behind it called rock and roll that we know today. Country and Western. How can you say you're a folk artist if you don't listen to country? There's got to be collaborations. Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg showed us that it's possible. You know, it is possible to do that. Kid Rock crossed 4 genres of music in 3 years. Came out as a DJ, then went to a rapper, then went as a pop artist, then did a rock and roll record, and then did a country record. It's possible, and these are the things that as a music community in Sacramento, Northern California, we can build off these ideas and make it better. Heroes Last Mission, Art Park Roots. I want to see that show. I want to see the hip hop show with the rock bands, and I want to see the rock band back in the hip hop artists and actually engaging the crowd and letting the crowd actually hear what's out there instead of just viewing music from whatever their personal view is. These are things that when I go to the concert in the park in 2013, I'm going to have my hand in the air no matter what artist it is. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.